So welcome to class, everybody. If you'd like to just begin by coming into a comfortable seated position. So we're either going to work with our legs crossed, if that's comfortable. If that isn't comfortable, if you have any issues with your hips or your legs instead. And if that feels uncomfortable for your back, sitting up like this, if you have any back issues or just something to keep your back lifted, just take a few minutes just to center. We're going to ground down through our sitting mode. So the palms are facing the ceiling. And just take a moment just to get the body comfortable. Just kind of work out any little last minute, little kind of figure. I'd like you to be comfortable. I'd like you to just very gently close your eyes. So we'll just leave the outside world, and all its distractions. I'm going to focus on the inner world. So let's just take a moment to find our breath. Let's just take the awareness into our nostrils. Just becoming aware of cool air coming in. And slightly warmer air is flowing out. Then we'll become aware of the texture of our breath. Does the breath feel rough or does the breath feel smooth? Just observing the breath. And becoming aware of the 4 phases of the breath. The in-breath, the pause, the out-breath, and the still point. Perhaps we can tune into the soft sound of our breath. And when thoughts and distractions come into the mind, which they will do, the mind likes to be very busy. We just let them go. And we come back to an awareness of our breath in the nostrils. And this type of breathing, nasal breathing, helps to quieten the mind. It helps the mind to become a little softer and a little more relaxed. Now that we have found our nasal breath, we're next going to turn our attention to the breath as it moves in the abdomen. When we start to feel anxious or we start to feel stressed, we notice that the breath can become very restricted here. We might even find that we're not really breathing here at all. So we invite softness into this part of the body. We allow this part of the body to be very soft and relaxed. And we invite the breath here now as well. So we notice that as we breathe in, the abdomen gently expands, it gently opens. And as we breathe out, the abdomen gently draws back towards the spine. Breathing in, the abdomen is gently expanding, it's gently opening, it's receiving the breath. And then as you breathe out, the abdomen is gently drawing back towards the spine. And this helps our nervous system to rest. It switches on our relaxation response. So it takes us out of the fight or flight mode, which many of us are feeling at the moment, that stress response. And it takes us to a place that is quieter. It's like a little reset for our nervous system. And if we can get into a habit of doing this regularly, this will have a positive effect on all of our various systems, our immune function, our ability to sleep, our digestion. And then the final thing that I'd like you to do is called the anchoring breath. So I'd like you to place your right hand over your belly button, over your navel, and then your left hand over the center of your chest, so roughly in line with your collarbones. And just continue to breathe, pressing your hands very firmly on your body, so over the navel and over the center of your chest. Noticing that the movement under the left hand is quite subtle. The movement under the right hand is more pronounced. And this is a good practice to work with if ever you start to feel anxious, you start to feel that kind of stress response is kicking in. This helps us to find a place of calm and peace once more. And it's also very good practice for children to work with. And if we teach children, we call it the belly and the heart breath, because children are feeling this as well. So anchoring breath or heart and belly breath. We'll just sit quietly for just a few moments longer in our own breathing time. And then just gently taking one final breath there, releasing your hands. Just take a moment to see how that feels. And then we invite that quieter state of mind into the physical part of our practice. Quiet breath, quiet body, and quiet mind. Okay, so we're going to adjust our position now. Before I do that, can I just make sure that everybody's okay? If again, we can just do thumbs up so that everybody is okay, which is fantastic, lovely. All right, so if you can come onto your mats, we're just going to do a little bit of warming up. So if you bring your knees into your body, hands on the knees, and then we're going to open up our hips just with some very simple circles. So we're going to breathe in, and then as we breathe out, we're going to draw the knees into the body, taking the knees out to the sides, and then breathing and drawing your knees back. So breathing out, the knees come into the body, out to the sides, and then breathing in, you're drawing your knees back. Breathing out, knees come into the body, out to the sides, and then breathing in, drawing your knees back. And just taking a few more like that. And if you can start to widen those circles, so you're really flushing out any little blockages in the hips. You know, we're spending more time at home, we're not able to get out quite as much, you know, possibly into the garden, but not like long walks or exercise as much as we would normally do. The hips get very stiff. And when we start to experience stiffness in the hips, we start to experience problems in the rest of the body. So really opening up the hips on a regular basis. Lovely. We'll bring the knees back together, take a breath. Now we're going to stretch out the lower back. And this is a really good one. I used to suffer with a problem with my back, which is what got me into yoga in the first place. And this is a really nice stretch for your lower back. So breathing in. As you breathe out, you're lifting up head, neck and shoulders. You're drawing the knees to the nose, hugging the elbows in, squeeze the abdomen, breathing in, release, and breathing out to relax. Second round, breathe in. As you breathe out, knees to nose, drawing the knees into the body, squeeze. It's good for your digestion as well. Breathing in to release, and breathing out to relax. Third round, can you start to bring the knees in a little closer? Breathing out, draw the knees to the nose, bring the knees in a little bit closer. Breathe in, release. And we'll just do that one more time. So breathing in, as you breathe out, knees to nose, hugging the knees in, really squeezing. Breathing in to release, and breathing out to relax. And then we'll just take a little rocking from side to side. Okay, so we're going to take some twisting next. If we drop the feet down, hip distance apart. Arms, if you've got space, arms out to the sides, just to open the lungs. We've got the palms pressing into the floor. Breathing in, and then as you breathe out, taking the knees over to the right, your head gently left. And then breathe in, come back to center. Breathing out, taking the knees over to the left, head gently right. And breathing in, coming back to center. Breathing out, knees over to the right, head gently left. And breathe in, center. And breathing out, knees over to the left, head gently right, and coming back to center. We'll take that twice more to each side. Just bringing some lovely movement into the spine. This is a good one to practice before you go to bed. It's a very calming, very soothing practice if you're struggling to get to sleep, or if perhaps the children in your life are struggling to get to sleep. It will help them to quieten everything. Okay, so the final one, over to the left, head to the right, and then come back to center. And then we'll bring the knees again into the body and just rocking that one out. Good. Okay, we're going to drop the feet down. We're going to slide the soles of the feet together and release the knees out to the sides. Now, if that doesn't feel very good for your hips or for your knees, then just slide your heels further away from your groins. Or you can just release one knee at a time. So you don't have to have both knees out at the same time. You can do the right knee and then you can do the left knee. Okay, head is centered, palms down. We'll breathe in. And then as you breathe out, I'd like you to squeeze your pelvic floor muscles. And then breathe in as you release them. So breathing out, you've got your knees out to the side, but you're going to squeeze your pelvic floor muscles and then breathe in to release them. So this improves the circulation of blood to the lower abdominal region. It keeps your lower abdominal organs healthy. Breathing out, engaging your pelvic floor muscles and then breathing and releasing them. I'm going to take that 3 more times. So engaging the pelvic floor muscles on the out breath and then releasing them on the in breath. So good for the urinary system, good for the reproductive organs. Good. And then releasing, bring your knees back, breathe in. And as you breathe out, bringing your knees into your body, hugging the knees into the body. And then we're just going to take one final position here, which is a classic yoga position, the bridge. Really good for helping the back to strengthen. So if you drop the feet hip distance apart, arms are alongside the body. Keep your head centered. And then breathing in, you're sweeping your arms overhead. You're keeping your back down. Reaching into your fingertips. As you breathe out, press into your feet, lifting your lower back, your mid back and your upper back as you lower your arms. Then breathe in, take the arms over, the back stays up. And breathing out as you release your bridge. That is one round. Let's take another round. So breathing in, arms over. The back stays down. Breathing out, lower the arms, press into your feet, lifting your lower back, your mid back and your upper back into your bridge. Breathing in, arms go over, back stays up, open the chest. This is good for your immunity. Open the chest. And then breathing out as you release your bridge. So we'll take that one more time. This time we're going to hold it. So breathing in, arms over, back stays down. Breathing out, lower the arms, pressing into the feet, lifting lower back, mid back, upper back. Breathing in, arms go over, back stays up. Now we're going to hold this one for 4 breaths. If the back needs a little bit more support though, we're going to take the arms back down, otherwise keeping them lifted. Press into your feet. Your legs are strong. It just helps to realign the spine as well. Strengthening the legs and really helping to boost the immune function. It's stimulating the thymus gland. As we breathe out, we come down slowly, releasing the back, releasing the arms. And then we'll bring the knees into the body. And then we guide the knees away from the body, breathing in. As we breathe out, we guide the knees back to the body, breathing out. We're just taking a few more like that. Okay. Lovely. Okay. So if you'd like to come up to an upright, I'm just going to unmute you for a second just to make sure that everybody is okay. Is everybody okay? Everybody okay?
Yep. Thank you.
Fantastic. Lovely. All right. Lovely. Okay. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to do some side bending, and then also going to do some twisting just to get some lovely movement in our spine. So I'm going to mute you again. And if we just take that first position that we did when we were breathing, the Sukhasana. But if it's not comfortable for you to cross your legs, again, just feel free to stretch out your legs. You know, we always make sure the body's very comfortable in our practice. Okay, so grounding down through the sit bones. If we take the hands to either side of our hips, and then if you just come up onto your fingertips and press into your fingertips, and as you do that, lift the spine. So you've got a nice upright spine, that's it. And then without losing that lifting in your spine, turning your left palm up, and then breathing in, lifting the arm up. And as you breathe out, just going into just a very gentle side bend. We don't want to go too far because we're just testing the back. Good. And then breathe in, press into your fingers and lift up, stretching through the side body. It's very energizing. And then breathing out, we'll go over to the other side. So coming onto your left fingertips, just go into a really gentle side bend. And then breathe in, press into the fingertips, stretch up. Reach into the fingertips, good. And then we start to go a little more deeply, if we can. So we just listen to the body. Breathe in, come up, stretch. And breathing out. And each time we just go a little more deeply, but without forcing. Good, and breathing in. So nicely opening up the side body, which is quite energizing. Can we go a little more deeply? Good. Really beautiful practice, everyone. So really lovely breath awareness. Well done. And over to the other side. Good. Back to center. And now we're going to hold that pose. So coming over to the right. And we'll keep softness in both elbows. We're going to bring what's called a mudra to our left hand, so index finger touching thumb tip. You can't see that. And then if you just make sure that your left sit bone is nicely grounded, because it wants to ride up now, so keep that grounded. And then just turning your head to the left. Okay, I want you to really breathe into your side body here. Just breathing in and breathing out from the side body. Stretching your intercostal muscles. Opening the lung. And then breathe in. We're going to turn the head first, press into the fingertips so the back stays safe, rise up. And breathe out. And then we'll go to the other side. So lifting up the right palm, breathing in as you breathe out, side bending to your left. Stay up on your left fingertips. Make your mudra, so index finger touching thumb tip. Ground down through your right sit bone. Lovely. And then turning your head and breathe into the right lung and open up that right side of the body. Now this side will be different, so observing that. So you're staying very mindful in your practice. And then we'll turn the head back, breathe in, stretch into the very fingertips, just see how that feels. Good. And breathe out. And then if we just make cups with our hands, I'm just going to go back a little bit so you can see me. So cups with your hands, and then if you place your fingers on the floor, and then just walk your fingers forwards, as far forward as you can. And when you can't go any further, then you're lowering yourself down. Okay, so now we want to breathe into the back body. So we become aware of the movement of breath in the back of our body. So as we breathe in, the ribs are gently opening, they're gently expanding. And then as we breathe out, they're just very gently drawing back towards each other. So just want you to just take a breath or two, if you can, just becoming aware of that movement in the back body. Even if you can't go down that far, just bringing the awareness to the breath in the back body. And then we lift the head up, we walk the hands back and take a breath. Lovely. Okay, so then we're going to do some twisting. Okay, so back in cross legs or back with the legs extended. We'll let the arms float up now, breathing in. And then as you breathe out, I want you to just very gently twist to your right and place your left hand in front of your legs and then your right hand around the back. And then breathe in, coming forwards, lifting the arms up. Take a nice stretch there. And then breathing out, gently, gently, gently twisting to your left, the right hand in front of the body, the left hand behind. Breathe in, lifting the arms up. So everything done on the breath, stretching. And breathing out, left hand in front, right hand behind. And breathe in. Good. And breathe out. And when you work with the breath, it's very unlikely that you will ever injure your body because you are working mindfully. You are listening to the body and you're listening to the breath. We'll just take that once more to each side. Twisting keeps the spine very healthy. It's also good for our nervous system. And it's good for our digestion and our elimination as well. Okay, so one final time, rising up. Lovely, and breathing out. And again, if we can just make those cuts, I just want you to do that walking forwards one more time. So walk your fingers forwards, everyone. Even if you can't come very far, just as far as you can. And then when you've come as far as you can, lower your head. And we'll just take a few breaths there. And breathe. Lovely, walking the hands back. We'll just take a moment just to see how that feels. Lovely, okay, so next what we'll do is we'll come into a tabletop position. So we're going to come into hands and knees position. Okay, now when we're on our hands and our knees, it's so important that we keep our joints healthy. So we make sure that the fingers are spread, so the middle finger pointing forwards and the fingers are spread, so you're not just down on your wrists. And also it's important that the knees are comfortable. So if as you're kneeling there, your knees feel a bit uncomfortable, just find some padding for them so that they're very comfortable, never working through any discomfort, particularly if you're not used to doing any yoga. All right, the first thing we're going to do is just some very simple circles. So we're going to describe a circle with our hips. If you just keep your gaze down, we're just going to circle the hips. Just bring some lovely, easy movement into the lower back and into the hips. And because your gaze is down, you're kind of working in your own private space. Then we can start to bring that up into the side body. And we might even be able to come up into the shoulders. So it's just starting to kind of really develop that movement. So you're just bringing this lovely movement into the whole body. We're just getting the whole body moving. And then once we've done that several times in one direction, we'll go in the other direction. And just keeping the breath flowing and steady. We're staying with that nasal breath. That's the breath that we work with in our yoga practice. In through the nose and out through the nose unless it's uncomfortable. That looks excellent, everybody. Beautiful practice. Excellent. Okay. And then we'll come back to center. We'll just take a breath. And I think we'll just sit back just for a moment, just so that we can ease our wrists, because not everybody's used to being hands and knees. So just taking a moment to rest your wrists. And then if we come back down again, this time we're going to describe a semicircle with our hips. So if you take your hips over to the right, and then describe a semicircle, take them over to the left. And then back again, left to right. And just keeping that going. So from one side to the other, just in quite an exaggerated way. And just see how that feels. So we're really getting our energy. We call it prana in yoga. It's called ki or chi in other traditions. We're really getting our energy moving, because it's become a bit stagnant. We're not moving as much as we would normally, and everybody's feeling that. Okay, then we'll come back to center. Lovely, take a breath. The next thing we're going to do is some rocking forwards and backwards. So we'll breathe in, and then as you breathe out, you're going to send your hips back to your heels. And then breathe in, you're going to rock forwards, your shoulders are in line with your hands, and then you're going to take your body a little bit forward of that. So breathe out, your hips are going back to your heels. Lengthening your spine, and then as you breathe in, shoulders in line with the hands, and then a little further forwards, and that strengthens your wrists. It gets you very used to being in this hands and knees position. We do a lot of this in yoga. So breathing in, rocking forwards, and then breathing out, rocking back. And then the next time we go back, we're going to stay in that position. So hips back, we can separate the knees if we need to. And then can we come up onto our fingertips here? So we're just stretching the side body a little bit more. And breathe. Good. Come back into tabletop. And then from there, we're going to go into another classic yoga pose, down facing dog. If you suffer with high blood pressure, I want you to leave this one out, or any problems with your eyes like glaucoma, anything that kind of is related to pressure in the body, please leave this out. Okay, so if we're working with this, we take under the toes, breathing in, and then we push up and back, breathing out into down dog. Hips nice and high. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to lift up the left heel. We're not going to take the foot off the floor, we're just going to lift up the heel, and then we're going to guide the right heel back and down, just to stretch out tight leg muscles. Just see how that feels. And breathe. And then we swap sides. So we lower the other heel, lift the opposite one, and we just take that stretch into the other leg, stretching out the hamstring, stretching out the calves. And then we come back into full down dog. And then we bend the knees a little bit. We're going to step the right foot forward and drop the back knee down. I'm just going to adjust my screen a bit. Okay, so we're going to check now that our knee and our ankle are in line. So the right knee and the ankle are in line. And then we're going to breathe in, lifting the arms up. Now, I'm just going to show you this. I'm just going to take my hands down. What I want you to do with your hands is interlock your last three fingers. Index fingers are pressing together, thumbs are crossing. So that's interlocking last three fingers. Index fingers pressing together, thumbs are crossing. It's called the Temple Mudra. I'm going to lift the arms up. And that will encourage more opening in the upper body. It will encourage more of a stretch in the upper body. That's it. Now breathing here is very energizing. We all need to lift our energies. And then we're going to release the fingers. We're going to take the right hand to the left wrist and breathe in. And then as we breathe out, we're going to go into a side bend to the right. So side bend to your right, but keep your lower body nice and strong. And then breathe and slowly come back, taking the hands and the arms shoulder width apart. And then from there, we'll go back into down dog. So it's taking the right leg back, hips high. And then we'll step the left foot forward, drop the back knee down, lifting the arms up, interlocking the last 3 fingers, pressing the index fingers together, thumbs crossing, but this time the opposite way. And really stabilizing down through your lower body, reaching up through the upper body. So creating this lovely sense of lightness and space in the upper body. Breathe. And then we'll take the left hand to the right wrist, breathe in, stretch a little bit more as you breathe out, side bend to your left. And then coming back up, just releasing the arms, shoulder width apart, arms straight up, just watching the knee and the ankle. And then breathing out back into down dog, hips high. And then we'll bend the knees. We'll walk the feet towards the hands, hands on the hips. And then we're coming up into our first standing pose. So I'm just going to adjust a little bit. Okay. So again, can I just ask you to do a thumbs up if you can still hear me? And is everybody okay? Fab, that's lovely. Okay, so if you haven't done any yoga before, this is the first standing pose. So we take this one, and this informs all of our other practices that we do standing up. So whatever we learn in Tadasana, we take into our other standing poses. All right, so if you just look down at your feet, make sure that your feet are no wider than front hip distance apart. And I want you to spread out your toes. Then bring the awareness up through the body, so engaging your front thigh muscles. Legs are strong, so we don't want weak knees, we want nice strong legs. Then we engage our pelvic floor muscles again, and also our lower abdominal muscles. Taking the arms back, arms out to the sides, chin level with the earth, and we'll just take a few moments quietly there. And at this stage, I'd invite you to work with a very simple affirmation. Breathing in, I am healthy. Breathing out, I'm strong. Breathing in, I'm healthy. Breathing out, I'm strong. And then if they've been closed, opening the eyes, just shaking out the body. Okay, so because we've got different kind of physical needs, obviously it's quite a mixed group. So we're going to do 2 versions of Sun Salutation. We're going to do a gentle one for those of you who want a more gentle practice, or if you have any issues that you need to be mindful of. And then for those of you who want a more challenging practice, we're going to work with a more classic, a slightly stronger version of the Sun Salutation. So if we all begin with the half Sun Salutation, that will be absolutely fine for everybody. Okay, so if we begin again in Tadasana, the mountain pose, the one that we've just taken. So just feeling nice and bright and energized and focused. And then before you begin, breathing in fully. So filling your lungs. And then breathing out, emptying your lungs. Breathing in, we'll take the arms out to the sides, we'll lift the arms up. We'll take a nice long stretch through the side body. As you breathe out, taking the arms out to the sides and coming all the way down into a full forward bend. Bend the knees as much as you need to. Then we take the hands above the knees. Nice long spine there, half forward bend. Breathe out, come all the way down again, full forward bend. And then press into your feet, take your arms out to the sides, rise up, all the way up. Beautiful. And then breathing out will come back to the heart. And we're ready to begin again. So let's just take a breath there. Second round. Before you begin, breathe in fully. Breathe out from your heart. Breathe in, take the arms out to the sides and lift the arms up. Take a nice side body stretch there. Breathing out, arms as wide as you can, coming forward and down. Fall forward, bend pose. Touch the floor, bend the knees if you need to. Then we take the hands above the knees, long spine, tuck in the elbows. Breathing out all the way down. Breathe in, press into the feet, rising up and salute the sun. This is traditionally done in the morning to welcome in the new day. And breathing out, coming back to the heart. Okay, third round, we're going to do 2 more. I'll do 1 more with you and then I'm going to watch you as you do that final one. So breathe in fully. Breathe out from your heart. Breathing in, arms out to the sides, lifting the arms up, side body long. Breathing out, arms out to the sides, coming all the way down, opening the back of your body, bend the knees a little bit if you need to. Breathe in, hands above the knees, tuck in the elbows. Breathe out, come all the way down. Breathe in, press into the feet rather than into the lower back, arms out to the sides, come all the way up. Side body long, reach into the fingertips, beautiful. And then breathing out, coming back to the heart, taking a breath. 4th and final round. Breathing in before you begin. Fill your lungs, breathing out, empty your lungs. Breathing in and salute the sun. Good, breathing out, bowing down to the earth. Breathing in, hands above the knees, long spine. Tucking in the elbows. Good, breathing out all the way down. Good, breathe in, press into the feet, rise up. Excellent, and then breathing out, coming back to your heart. And if we can just pause there for a moment, just to see the effects. Now, Sun Salutation is a practice that I recommend to all my students to do on a really regular basis. It's good for all of the different systems of the body. It's not just me saying that. It's good for your immune function, your respiratory system, your circulatory system, endocrine, all the systems of the body benefit. And the research is out there. It's not just me saying it. Okay, now if you want to keep it as a very gentle practice, if you just stay in Tadasana now. If you want a more challenging practice, we've warmed up. We're going to do the full Sun Salutation a couple of times together. Okay, so front of the mat, nice and tall in the body. Breathing in before you begin. Breathing out from the heart. Breathing in as you salute the sun. So as before, side body long, reach into the fingertips. As you breathe out, down to the earth. Bending the knees a little bit if you need to. This time as we breathe in, we take the right leg back. Now we can drop down to the back knee if we need to. Left foot joining right foot. We go into down dog. Side body long. Then we come forward for plank. Then we drop down to the knees, chest and chin. And we rise up for cobra. Back into down dog, toes under, push up and back, into down dog. Lifting up the right leg and step it through. We can drop the back knee down if we need to. Left foot joining right foot. Press into the feet, arms out to the sides and rise up. Breathe out, we come back to the heart. And take a breath. Just going to adjust my camera angle a little bit so you can just see my position a bit better. Okay, so that is 1/2 round in which we step the right leg back. So now we're going to step the left leg back first, and that will be 1 full round. Breathe in before you begin. Breathe out from your heart. Breathing in, arms out to the sides, lifting the arms up, side body long. Breathing out, taking the arms out to the side, long spine, bending the knees as much as you need to, full forward bend. Then we take the left leg back. Good. Right leg goes back, down dog. Can we engage our pelvic floor here, our abdominal muscles, and then come forward for plank. Drop the knees, chest, chin. Rise up, cobra. Back into down dog. Lifting the left leg and step it through. You've always got the option of dropping that back knee down. Right foot joining left foot. Press into the feet, rise up. Side body long. Breathe out, come back to the heart. Take a breath. Okay, stepping forward for your second round. First side. Breathing in before you begin. Breathe out from the heart. Breathe in and salute the sun. Breathing out, bowing down to the beautiful earth. Breathing in, right leg goes back. Nice long stride back. Good. Left leg joining right leg. Nice long down dog. Hips high, side body long. Engage your bandhas, pelvic floor, abdominal muscles. Then we come down for plank. Drop down, knees, chest, chin. Rise up, cobra. Good. Back into down dog. Lifting up the right leg and step it through. Left foot joining right foot. Press into the feet, rise up. Salute the sun and bring its light and energy and prana back to your heart space. Excellent. One final half round. Breathe in before you begin. Breathe out from the heart. Breathe in and salute the sun. Breathing out, bow down to the beautiful earth. Breathe in, left foot goes back. Breathe out, right foot goes back, down dog, side body long. Draw up your pelvic floor, draw in your abdominal muscles, come forward for plank. Drop down, knees, chest, chin. Breathe in, rise up, cobra. Good. Breathe out, back into down dog. Left foot forward. Right foot forward. Press into your feet, rise up, all the way up. Good. Breathe out, come back to your heart. Lovely. Okay, now we're just going to take a few quiet breaths in Tadasana, in the mountain pose, the pose that you're standing in now. So if you just keep your hands together over your heart for a few breaths and just see how you feel. So we're just going to release the back after the sun salutation, and then we can move quietly into a little breath work and our final relaxation. That was a really beautiful practice. So if you want to release your hands, and then if you just come into semi-supine again, so with your knees bent, lying on your back, and then we'll just step the feet up, we'll just hug the knees in, and we'll just rock gently from side to side. And then the final pose that I'd like to work with is called the happy baby. So we've got the legs apart. We're going to lift up the lower legs with the knees bent. The soles of the feet are pointing towards the ceiling. And then we're going to hold on to the outside of our lower legs, our ankles, or we might be able to reach the soles of our feet. Now, when we do that, we might find that the lower back starts to ride up. So we just guide the lower back and the sacrum down. Same with the shoulders, just relaxing the shoulders. Drawing the chin down to the chest. And we're drawing the knees down towards the floor. And then if that feels comfortable, we can rock that baby. We can rock gently from side to side. Just a nice release for the hips and the lower back. So just try to not go all the way, but sometimes it happens. If it does, it doesn't matter. But if you can just try to keep it just very gentle, just rocking a little to one side and then to the other. Happy baby pose. So you're rocking a baby gently to sleep. And then we'll come back to center, releasing the legs or the feet, hugging the knees in one final time. And then dropping the feet down. And if you'd like to prepare for your final relaxation, so we lie down for a relaxation pretty much at the end of every yoga class, and that gives the body an opportunity to absorb the benefits of the practice. So lying on your mats, if it's more comfortable for your back, I know one or two of you have got back issues, so bending one or both of your knees. If you don't like to extend your legs completely, if you have a blanket or something to cover you, it's quite nice just to cover your body. So again, as we did at the very beginning, the legs are comfortably wide apart. We just allow the little toes to flop out gently to the sides. The arms are stretched a little away from the body. We've got the palms turned over. Our eyes are very gently closed. And we become aware of our breath once more. Breath flowing in and the breath flowing out. Becoming aware of the breath in the nostrils. We're becoming aware of the breath in the abdomen. We're becoming aware of the breath as it moves in the whole body. Becoming aware of the first perceptible moment of the incoming breath and the very last whisper of your outflowing breath. The first perceptible moment of your incoming breath and the very last whisper of your outflowing breath. And just staying here in this very quiet, peaceful, private space for a few moments longer. It is now time to very gently release from your relaxation. But knowing that this place of quiet and peace and stillness is always within. begin to slowly deepen your breathing. Begin to externalize your awareness, become aware of sounds outside of yourself. Begin to move your body very gently. Fingers and toes. You might like to move the hands and the feet. Rotating the wrists and the ankles. It's so nice to release the head gently from side to side a few times. And then we might like to take a nice long stretch. So breathing in, taking the arms overhead, take a nice energizing stretch to give you energy for the rest of your day. And breathe out. And then we'll bend the knees and we'll roll onto whichever is our most comfortable side. So that we're not coming up all at once. I'm just going to unmute you now all so that we can just say a final little namaste, which we always say at the end of our practice. So just coming up to an upright position when you're ready. And then we just finish by rubbing the palms of the hands together. Normally we place the hands over the eyes, but we obviously don't at the moment. So we're just going to rub our palms together. And then bring the hands over the heart. And we finish with namaste.
Namaste.
Thank you.
Thanks for a lovely class, everyone.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Can I just say, ladies, can we have a massive round of applause for Brenda giving her time to us today, freely in lockdown? Thank you, Brenda. You rock.
Thank you so much. Lovely. Thank you. Hope to see you again.
Thanks, Brenda.
All right. Take care, everyone. Bye.
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 How do you hang up?